Hey everybody, and welcome to another Mega Construx Pokemon review here on my channel, and today we're taking a look at Riolu Evolution set. This set comes with 131 pieces and is recommended for ages 7 and up, and it features two Pokemon, Riolu and its evolution Lucario. And we're going to kick off this review by taking a look at the first evolution, which is Riolu, who I think has a fairly decent design. You can see he has some printing there on the chest, but my favorite part about this Pokemon personally has to be the overall shape and design of the Pokemon's head. You can see some printing on the back of this Pokemon's hands, and I do like the inclusion of the yellow ring around Riolu's neck because it's very accurate to the Pokemon's design. There is also some nice printed detail on the back of Riolu's legs as well as the back of the Pokemon itself. I'm not really the biggest fan of the brick-built tail that they decided to go with for Riolu. I feel like it's a little too skinny when compared to the actual Pokemon's design. Personally, I prefer when Mega makes molded pieces for the tails of these Pokemon, but I do have to commend them for at least trying. Riolu does come with a fair bit of articulation. The head of this Pokemon is on a ball joint, so it can be moved up and down and side to side. Riolu comes with ball joints in both of the shoulders and elbows of the Pokemon. This allows for both of the arms to have some pretty good posability and articulation. Riolu also comes with ball joints in both of the hips, so the legs are able to be moved out to the side as well as forward and backwards and rotated around. Surprisingly, there is no ball joint in the knee of Riolu, which can limit its posability and articulation in the lower extremities. But overall, for being such a small figure, it does have some pretty good articulation to it. Having this articulation can allow you to put Riolu into some pretty cute looking poses. The next Pokemon we're going to talk about is Riolu's evolution, Lucario. And for me personally, I have some pretty mixed feelings about this Pokemon's design. There are some things that I like about Lucario and other things that I think could have been improved. We're going to start with the things that I like about Lucario, which is its overall printed quality. This is something that I find Mega does consistently well, and it's no different with Lucario here. Also like the white spike in the middle of Lucario's chest, as well as the ones that are coming off of his hands. It's very accurate to the Pokemon's design. And there's also some printed detail on the back of Lucario's legs. Speaking of the legs of Lucario, I actually don't like their design or overall look in general. Lucario also comes with a brick-built tail, but its design is more accurate than it was on Riolu. There is a rubber piece meant to represent fur around the neck of Lucario, and while I do appreciate the inclusion, I wish it had a little bit more of a dynamic shape. It looks a little flat to me. With Lucario being a bigger build, there is more articulation. The head is on a ball joint so it can be rotated around. Both of the ears of Lucario can be moved up and down as well. The shoulders of Lucario are also on ball joints so they can be moved up and down and rotated all around. There is also another pair of ball joints in the elbow of Lucario, which allows for some good articulation and range of motion. The knee of Lucario can also bend forward and backwards, but as you can see, that big rubber piece limits the articulation in the hips of Lucario. Turning Lucario to the side, you can also see that there is another ball joint in the base of Lucario's tail, which is a nice feature I suppose because it allows the tail to be moved around. Even though Lucario has more articulation, I do find him more difficult to pose due to that big rubber piece that makes up the top half of his legs. With the Pokemon out of the way, we're going to talk about the very small and simple environmental build that comes in this set, which I assume is meant to represent an arena or a dojo due to these being fighting type Pokemon. There are 3 lights found at the top of the dojo wall as well as these reddish-orange fence type pieces. The wall of the dojo itself is a tan color. There are some light gray plates that make up the floor of the build, and there's also this really simple brick-built plant in the corner. This build is nothing impressive in my opinion, but there is room to fit Lucario and Riolu onto the build if that's something you want to do. I bought the Riolu Evolution set for $20 at a local flea market, which I think is a relatively fair price for what you're getting considering a single Pokemon goes for $8 these days. But I do think that the overall build quality for Lucario could be improved in future iterations. You'll have to let me know what you think of this set in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe for more brick-built content in the future. Till next time.